What's going on, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to my F1 2016 mod, career mode on the F1 2014 game with the Haas Formula 1 team as per usual. And we're back for episode number 9 today for the British Grand Prix. If you guys have missed the last episode, it was an absolute cracker at Austria. It went right down to the wire, as the title might indicate. So I really recommend you go watch that if you haven't already. But yeah, we're here at my home Grand Prix, so obviously we're wanting to do well. There is some rain forecasts for the race ahead, but in qualifying it was all dry, but just overcast. So you know, the usual stuff in the UK, really overcast. Did you guys know that it was the official start of summer, basically today, but yesterday was the longest day of the year, and in the UK, or at least London, it was pouring it down, so that was absolutely fantastic, and just the usual stuff. I wouldn't expect anything other than that, so yeah, that was great. Anyway, enough of that random stuff, on to the qualifying. So you can see at the moment, I'm in 21st place. I set a banker lap time just to see how everyone else was going to do. Rosberg at the moment on pole position, but we're going through the lap. You can see Raikkonen there in the mirrors was getting very, very close. It was actually quite annoying because I tried to do a lap before this one that you're seeing right now, and Raikkonen blocked me on that lap, so he was being a bit of an arsehole, to be honest. But eventually we got this in right at the end. We come through the swooping right-hander through the final corner, and we'll see where it's going to get us. We come across the line quite wide, but we come home in 5th place there in qualifying, so not a bad place to be, especially considering our teammate Romain Grosjean is in 11th place, just showing the pace difference between myself and my teammate. But Rosberg gets pole position, and then surprising Valtteri Bottas joins him on the first row, and Vettel there 3rd and Hamilton 4th. So two Brits very close together for the British Grand Prix. It's going to be a 2-stop apparently, option prime, but obviously as you can clearly see, a 93% chance of rain. So really, I don't know how, you know, I don't think that 2-stop is really going to come into play. I think definitely the rain is going to come earlier. 93% pretty much means that the rain will be starting to fall down pretty much within the first 3 laps, I think, because we're starting off dry. So anyway, let's go to the grid for the British Grand Prix, my home race. Right, here we are on the grid for the British Grand Prix. 26 laps ahead of us, and they may not be all as dry as now, but we go to 5 red lights, and we are away straight off, and a lot of wheel spin in 2nd and 3rd gear. The Williams gets a good start. Ricciardo gets a brilliant start. We heat up the rear tyres there on the temperature gauge. Hamilton swings around the outside of Ricciardo. Can we try and get 5th place back here? We go down the inside of Ricciardo, which will turn into the outside for the next corner, but we go quite deep. Don't want to make any contact, so we swerve right left a little bit there. We're going to try and go down the inside of Ricciardo here and go side by side with him. Meanwhile, up ahead, looks like Hamilton's on the back of Bottas. We get very, very close to Ricciardo's rear tyre there with our front right, but let's try and see if we can outpace him with our Ferrari engine in the back of this Haas car. Down towards the Luffield section, Ricciardo's going to outbrake us very well, but we're going to stick down the inside, getting oh so close, millimeters in it between our 2 wheels and side pods there, but just about on the exit of Luffield, we get him, and we're up into 5th place, or once more back up into 5th. So no positions gained off this start, which is quite disappointing, but nonetheless, we are in 5th, and we're going to chase down Sebastian Vettel. We cut later on at the end of lap 1 through the chicane section. We can see Ricciardo behind us is still sort of there, but he's sort of falling back, so that's good to see. And up ahead, oh god, we got a car go slow, a lot of smoke. That's Hamilton. Hamilton is out. Hamilton's got engine failure. That's absolutely crazy for the championship. Remember, Hamilton is leading this championship by quite some way, so that is a huge deal. Hamilton out of the British Grand Prix in front of the British fans. He's got an engine failure. His engine going up in smokes. What scenes that's been. So that's going to be awesome for whoever comes in first place. Safety car is deployed. I'm guessing that's for Hamilton, who's maybe stricken and stranded somewhere in that first sector. But that is huge news, because I believe the gap was at least something like 40 points to Hamilton to myself. That's just me. And then behind me was Rosberg and Raikkonen, you know, some more points back there. So that's a big deal. If whoever wins this race is going to get 25 points on Hamilton. So, you know, if it's going to be someone like Rosberg or Raikkonen, that's going to be a big deal. And, you know, if it somehow ends up being us, that's going to be crazy stuff, because that will be a huge boost in terms of trying to catch Hamilton, because so far, you've got to say, he's been dominating this career mode season. He's been really having the opposite of the real-life luck he's been getting. He's been just bagging every single win he can get this season, and Rosberg's been the one getting all the bad luck. So, anyway, we've come on to lap 4 now. The safety car is coming in. As you can also see, hopefully, on your screens, that the rain is starting to come down. So, as I mentioned before, the rain was going to come down very early on in the Grand Prix because we had a 93% chance of rain. So, yeah, it's coming down already. So, the Inters might be quite soon in a few laps' time. We'll have to watch out for that. Although, on this game, on 2014, you can go quite long into the wet period on dry tyres until the spray gets a bit too much. But anyway, we're underway with the green lights, getting right up behind Sebastian, who has had a poor start. But there on the restart was very weird. Rosberg was taking his very sweet time to get ready and get going. Obviously, he sets the pace after the safety car comes in. Anyway, we've got onto lap 5 now. We can see Vettel chasing after Bottas right up his gearbox, and the same with on Rosberg. So you can throw a blanket over all three of them. We go into the chicane section, and Vettel's tried to move. He's not made it work, and now we go down the inside of the German, and we get the place. We're up into the podium positions as Vettel is caught napping after trying to make a move on Bottas, and it failed spectacularly for him. It looked like he tried to make a move down the inside of Bottas into the chicane on the left-hander, and it really didn't work out as he squeezed out horribly there. And so now we've taken that, and we're up into 3rd place. Great stuff. But now you can see the rain is still coming down a little bit heavier than it was 2 laps ago on lap 4, and so it should be into soon enough. We're just going to check the temperature, check the grip level, see how we're doing, because as I said, you can take them a bit longer. But we've got Vettel still coming back at us here in the slipstream, but looks like he's sort of backed out of it on the exit of that corner towards the Luftfield, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But we're on to lap 8 now. We're coming into the pit stops. You can see the dry tyres are very worn, but we're actually coming in for a set of option tyres because it's not wet enough. It's not wet enough yet. Ricciardo comes into the pits behind us, and you'll see Ricciardo is also going to be coming in onto the dry tyres. It's just simply not wet enough yet. Bit unfortunate that the dry tyres had to wear out at this point, but you know, there's no point coming on Inters 2 laps early and kind of heating them up, taking a bit of life out of them. I'd rather maybe do this extra pit stop and then have to pit again for Inters. We'll see how it goes, really. We can see some of the AI are still on dry tyres. Hulkenberg there, you saw as I glanced behind me, is still on dry tyres. I think he's on the prime tyres actually from the start of the Grand Prix. So you can see that in terms of being on the right tyre at the right time, we've made the correct decision, but it may come back to bite us soon because we cut later on to lap 9 though. We're closing up on Ericsson, so for now, looks like we're all fine. It looks like the dry tyre is still working very well. You can see a lot of spray coming off, and a bit of a dry line is shaping up where the water really hasn't settled yet. But off the racing line, it is coming into kind of puddles and a bit of spray there off the wall of the tyres. But you can see, overtook Ericsson quite aggressively there. He was actually going a bit too slow for my liking. He was a bit stupid parking it on the apex. But anyway, we've overtaken him, showing the dry tyres are still working well. But then we cut later on as we go on to lap 10. We got lots of people in the pits, and little did I know that all these guys are actually pitting onto intermediate tyres right now, I believe. So right now we've probably gone 1 lap too much on the dry tyre. It was probably only 2 laps left for these dry conditions, and then we had to go into Inter. So in hindsight, I probably should have pit, should have stretched the first stint out 2 more laps, pit on lap 10 like a lot of these guys are doing. But obviously, you can say a lot in hindsight. At the time, I was just thinking about the fact that my dry tyres are worn out. I want to try and push and catch the people behind me. But now, on lap 10, you can see Raikkonen right behind us, and it looks like he was in intermediate tyres, I think that was, on the green wall. So confirming, and you can see now, coming later onto the lap, off the exit of Beckett's, you can see the grip levels are just not there, and Raikkonen right up my chuff. I think he's definitely on intermediate at this point, so he's going to try and overtake me, and we're just struggling around this section. You can see just the kind of slow pace I'm going at compared to what we were at the beginning of the Grand Prix, sliding around in 4th gear, and now we come into the pits. Raikkonen continues on, so that's pretty much confirming that he was on the intermediate tyres, and Bottas also continues on. So Bottas leading the Grand Prix at the moment, so it looks like Rosberg has fallen down the order, maybe pit a lap later than Bottas and Raikkonen, so he's fallen down from 1st to, well, not even 4th because Verstappen's there, so don't know where Rosberg's fallen off to. So a very poor race all round for Mercedes, but we've made a 3.7 stop there, and we're on to the green wall intermediate tyres. So now we're on the correct tyre for these conditions. We're in 8th place right now, might be 9th as we come out the pits, but we're going to be behind the likes of Palmer. We're coming out in 8th place. Ericsson will just be behind us, so we've just gone out ahead of him, so technically we haven't actually lost too much time there. there, going one extra lap, because we did overtake Ericsson in the dry period when we were on the option tyres before we went for that extra lap on lap 10. So technically, we haven't lost any time, but somehow we've lost a load of position. So obviously everyone pit a little bit earlier than us and gained that time there. But anyway, we'll try and catch up to the guys and see what we can do. So we've gone one lap later, or 2 laps later really, as we're going on towards lap 13. We're right behind Jody and Palmer here in the Renault, who's going very, very slowly through the final corner, and I've actually locked wheels a little bit and kind of connected with his tyres there. We just get around him, no real other contact made, but that was a little bit frustrating. I don't know what he was doing. He was sort of parking on the apex or in the middle of the corner. Looked like he had a lack of grip, but he was on the correct tyre, so I don't really know what that was about. Maybe that's just the pace of the Renault right now, but I don't know. We took that move. We had to make that as quick as we could, and now we cut on towards lap 14 now as we're chasing down Sainz Jr. in the Toro Rosso. You can see Verstappen is in 3rd place. My teammate's just pit right now, so he's behind us. So it looks like these guys are making a second pit stop for another set of intermediate tyres, I should say. So that's a little odd. That's a little odd. I'm not going to lie, because the Inters, well, they would have put them around lap 9 or 10. Well, I put them on lap 10, so they would have put them around lap 8. So that's only like 6 laps on the Inters. So that's a very short lifespan. So I feel like the AI in front of me did pit quite early. But anyway, getting on to lap 14, down the back straight. We don't have a DRS, obviously, as we might do usually in the dry conditions, but pure slipstream. We go down the inside of Sainz, gain the speed, and make that move in the brake zone. We're up into 4th place right now. To be honest, I don't actually know where this is in the grand scheme of things. As you can see on the mini-map, some people are coming in, and as you can see on the screen in front of us, conditions are very, very poor at the moment. It's actually quite tricky to drive around here. I'm not going to lie that I was actually just kind of going corner by corner. It was actually quite cool to see that the kind of rain texture mod I've got going on in the career mode was working really well, and it was actually making it quite a challenge, because I was having to just look at every apex and kind of blindly aim for the brake zone without any racing line or anything like that. So it was actually quite a fun challenge. But anyway, meanwhile, we've gone across onto lap 15. We're up into 2nd place now, as some more people have made their pit stops for another set of intermediate tyres. So I don't know, the entire grid having some issues with tyre wear. On lap 16 now, we're coming through, and now we're finally seeing that tyre wear. So finally, doesn't look so crazy that people pit on lap 15, Raikkonen that is, and what was it? I think Rosberg got to pit on lap 15. So it didn't seem so crazy on lap 15, because we're going to come in lap 16 now. The rear tyres getting quite poorly, so I thought I'd make a pit stop, because it looks like everyone's making some extra ones with these conditions. But I still find it very early for lap 14. Lap 15 maybe, but the lap 14 pitters, I feel like that was a bit too early. 6 laps gone. I mean, it's justified for me right now, because look at the right-hand side. Those tyres are very yellow going on towards orange, and that's not what you want on this game, especially when the tyres go orange. So I think I've made the correct call to come onto Inters right now. And now we'll just see how it goes. We'll see how far these tyres can do. We'll see if people are making other pit stops again. I think there may be an entire other pit stop for the entire grid till the end of the Grand Prix, but we'll see about that. But we've come out in 6th place ahead of Sainz Jr., so that's good. We haven't lost time there. And we're right behind our teammate Romain Grosjean. So, and it looks like all these cars ahead of us are all for position. So actually, in the grand scheme of things, we haven't really lost too much time overall with that maybe extra pit stop we did early on in the Grand Prix on lap 8. So we're not too bad. So 6th place, and we'll try and catch up to our teammate and get a move on into the higher points. On lap 17 through Maggotts and Beckett's right now, closing up on our teammate very closely. We can see just the lack of visibility, having to just kind of blindly pick my lines, and here we try and take a cutback line here, get a bit better acceleration onto the back straight. Let's see, with a bit of slipstream here, we're going to move to the left-hand side of the circuit. Grosjean's just going to give us just about enough room. We'll squeeze onto the grass a little bit, but we'll make that move round the outside. Quite a nice move there, and we're up into 5th place now, so where we qualified. So I think if we finish in this position, I won't be too disheartened, but we can see a Verstappen in a Red Bull right there in front of us, and we've got at least, how many is that? 9 laps left in the Grand Prix left, so let's go have him. So we cut later on lap 18 through Maggotts and Beckett's once again, and we're closing up on Verstappen like we did on Grosjean. Looks like we got some good pace through this section, through the S's, and now we're closing up again. We'll get some slipstream. This time we'll kind of maybe look to the left, but then move to the right quite quickly, do a bit of a shimmy and fake, make Verstappen look in the mirrors, and we're up into 3rd place now. So on the podium positions right now in our home Grand Prix, I would be very, very happy if the race just ended here and we ended up in 3rd place, but we'll see how it goes. We've got Raikkonen and I believe it's Bottas still in 1-2 of this race, so not too sure where Rosberg has been in this entire race. He's really fallen off the face of the earth in this race. I don't know if he's had an issue. Maybe both the Mercs had an issue. But anyways, we crossed the line on lap 19. You can see Raikkonen has made a pit stop. So as I thought, some AI cars are making another stop. So Raikkonen's made his pit stop, and it looks like Verstappen behind me has made his pit stop because there's no one directly behind me on the mini-map. So everyone is making another pit stop. You can see there I paused briefly to look and check if no one was going into wet, because I was a little bit worried about that. But everyone's on Inter still, so everyone is making maybe an extra stop, including Bottas perhaps. So as we cut later on into the Grand Prix, lap 22, we're still in second place, 4.4 behind Bottas, but Bottas is coming into the pits, I think. Behind us, we got Raikkonen 6.3 behind us, but there you go, on the mini-map, Bottas coming into the pits. So we're going to continue on. The team wanted us to pit this lap, but we're going to ignore those, just like Vettel did in Baku, ignoring the team's orders to maybe come in for a pit stop and saying, are you sure, team, because I'm going to come across the line, and we're going to take first place in the British Grand Prix so far, and Bottas has pit on net of intermediates. We've only got 3 laps left in this Grand Prix. Why aren't we just going for the win? We'll just go for the win. We'll just go to the end on these tyres. Bottas is going to have quite a big gap to close up. This might just be a gamble that maybe pays off. And you know what? We've gambled a lot in this series. And, you know, probably about 8 out of 10 times it's worked out for us. So why not? Why don't we just go for this and go for the win? See if we can maybe defend from Bottas. Because let's see when we come up to the split in Luffield what the gap is. We'll see momentarily on the top left. So let's just wait around and see what the gap is. It's going to be as it comes up hopefully very soon. Come on, let's see the gap. Come on, please. No, we don't see the gap right now. Okay, we're going to have to wait a little bit more. There you go. 13.1 is the gap. 13.1 seconds Bottas had to close up. And I can tell you as we come to lap 26... it wasn't possible. He cut the gap to 9 seconds. You can see how worn our tyres are. But our gamble paid off, guys. And we're coming through in this American car at the British Grand Prix, our home Grand Prix. We'll come through the final corner and we'll take victory at the British Grand Prix. That is epic. And so now looking at the full results table, we can see there we've taken the full 25 points. Also, just note there's a little bit of a glitch there on the lap counter, obviously on the timing. You can see everyone says +1 laps. That's just a little glitch. But Valtteri Bottas gets second place and Raikkonen third. So in the championship, big movements. Obviously, Hamilton retiring with an engine failure means we are still in second, but we've closed the gap there. We've got 133 to his 159 there, and Rosberg climbs up a little bit with 91 points. In the constructors, Mercedes still leading the way with 250, but now we've got 183, and we're getting a little bit away from Ferrari, which is quite surprising and awesome to see. So anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed that episode, smash the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, then do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. But that has been our second win in the Haas car, and it has to be. It was just meant to be. It had to be our home Grand Prix for the second win. That's been awesome. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed it today, and I'll see you guys next time.